Check out the inside of this card with this great pop-up gift bag. We're going to be making this one in the video today, but I also wanted to show you some Christmas versions of this. Hi everyone, welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca. I'm so excited that you're here. I have seen this card around forever and have never tried it, but found just an easy way to put it together. You're just not even gonna believe it. I'm so excited to show you. I'll have all the measurements over on my blog post. It's linked in the description of this video. To get the project sheet, make sure you're on my email list. That is also linked in the description. If you want your bags to look just like mine, you can purchase the supplies right from my blog post. All right, let's get started. We're going to start by getting our stamping done for the inside of our card because we need to have that in place before we insert our bag. I'm going to be using the Peace on Earth, which is really kind of advertised as a Christmas set, but I think this can be used all year round. It does have some other words that go for just year-round card making. I'm going to use this for all the example cards that I'm going to show you today. So you're going to use this die, which is the smaller of the two, to cut out in white, and we'll go ahead and stamp a greeting right on the front. So we're going to do this one, Heartfelt Prayers. And just to keep the supply list low, I am just going to use black ink for all the example cards. Now you could also switch this out for any kind of birthday, thinking of you type of sentiment on the front. So just dig through your stamps. This is a great one to have that just has some basic happy birthday, thinking of you, thank you type messages that are great for any kind of card. Now we're going to grab a piece of paper for the inside of our card. And I'm just going to use this Big Hugs for a Good Friend. I love that. You can stamp this anywhere on your card. The bag is going to be right here. So that's the only part that you can't cover up. And then I used these dies to cut out a big leaf. This is going to go on the front of our card. We may or may not use this dove. I'm not sure. We'll see how it looks. And then I'm going to use this little green leaf to just go right here. I just think that looks so pretty. And then this is totally optional, but this little die cuts out two little mini envelopes, which are so cute. So I'm just going to put those on the inside of my card. All right, that's it for our stamping. If you have this stamp set or are planning on getting it, I've got a bundle of the month video class that has 16 different card ideas. I team up with 15 other demonstrators and we put this out every month featuring a new bundle. So if you're watching and it's November 2025, this is my free gift if you place a $75 order with me with Stampin' Up. And you'll also get my techniques, templates, and fun folds tutorial as well. We put a new one out each month that is just a gift for purchase, but you can also just buy this outright. It's in my tutorial store. This Peace on Earth comes as part of a suite, but I want to show you how you can use it with other designer series paper. This is the Painterly Pear, so I'm going to use this to make this example card, but then I also have some that are Christmassy using a different paper, but the same stamp and die bundle. For your card, go ahead and pick out one for the front of your card and then one that you want to use on the bag for the inside of your card. Then you're going to need a strip of paper for the front. So I'm going to use these three pieces. I went ahead and pre-cut all those. Once you have your paper picked out, now you can pick out your cardstock that will coordinate with your card, with your designer series paper. That is like the amazing thing about Stampin' Up. Their colors completely coordinate. Their inks, their cardstock, and the colors in the designer series paper. So when I don't know if you've ever used other ones that don't match, it just like there's just something off, and this fits. It just works perfectly. It makes it so easy to create really pretty things. So this piece we're just going to put on the front of our card here. The measurements for all this are on my blog post and on the project sheet. I do use eighths in this project. You could definitely modify them if you don't like cutting eighths, but I also have a video, and I'll link it right up here, that kind of just goes through how to use your paper trimmer to cut eighths the easy way. So I'm just smearing that glue all around, and oh, I'm glad I did because I squirted some out right there. I was also using this scrap paper when I was talking to do my score line. That is going to prevent any shiny mark on my cardstock. Now we'll go ahead and put the inside of our card in place here. Put that right there. Oh wow, that looks so beautiful. Then I'm just going to turn that over and just run my bone folder to make sure that is nicely adhered. Now this piece works with our belly band. We'll go ahead and glue this on now, but we are going to attach it later. We need to put the bag inside of the card so that it's going to be the right thickness before we put our belly band on. But we can go ahead and glue this on. This is definitely an extra step, but so pretty. And then from the same color of cardstock that you use for your belly band, use the larger of the two labels to cut out a label for the front. I'm going to hold off attaching all of this until we get to that point. So now let's make the bag. This is so fun. I'm so excited to show you how to do this. Now, when you are cutting your strip, if your paper has a direction, which this one kind of does like this, when you go to your paper trimmer to cut the paper, you want the direction of your paper going this way before you slice it this way, so that when your bag is put together, it's going to be kind of like this. Whoops. It's going to be kind of like this. That way the direction of your paper is the correct way. So now we're going to score it. You can do this in your paper trimmer if you want, but when I'm making projects with lots of scores, I really like to use this Simply Scored board. Now, all of these, there's a lot of scoring. All the scoring is on my blog post, sunnydaystamping.com. It's linked in the description of this video. This print and make project sheet, I emailed out this morning. This just makes it so easy to just have the measurements right there by you. So get it in your email, print it out when you make this. If you're not on my email list, there's a link in the description of this video to sign up. It's free to sign up, and I send out a new project sheet each week. It's free for that first week, and then it goes to my tutorial store. So if you're looking for older project sheets, I bundle them all together by the month, and you can get them there. So now we'll go ahead and score these half, one, and this is one mistake I was making. It was kind of sliding down. So make sure you double check that this is bumped up against the top so that it is continuing to be straight. Let's see, 5, 5.5, 6, 10, and 10.5. Again, all those measurements are on my blog post. Do you know what I did wrong? This is too long. This should have been 11 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. There we go. So it's going to look like that. So your last score line is at 10.5, which just leaves this little ½ inch mark right there. Now, what you want to do is rotate it this way. We're going to score down here for the bottom of our bag. So you got to make sure if your paper has a direction that this is the top of the bag. So you don't want to rotate it this way and score this way, then your images are going to be upside down. So this ½ inch right here is the bottom of your bag. If you don't have a scoring tool yet, this one is so great. It accommodates papers that are over 12 inches. It's got these markers that you can put where your measurements are. It really makes it quick if you're making multiples of projects. But it also gives a nice deep score line if you like making 3D projects like this. So now we're going to score on all of those score lines, or we're going to burnish all of those score lines. So you're probably not going to be able to see them on camera, but I'm going to go ahead and just do this. It doesn't matter which way you score them right now. I will show you the correct way to put it together after. But we just want to make sure these are going to be nice and sharp. So sometimes it's just better to feel for them than to see them, especially as my eyes are getting worse and worse. I just turned 50, and I'm telling you, like, when I hit 40, I noticed my eyes going, and they have just been steadily going. Now my mom, who is almost 80, she still can see up close like nobody's business. So I don't know what happened to me. So now what we're going to do, this is just a template just so you can visualize. We are going to cut out these sections down here, and you can do that with your scissors, but I really like doing it in my paper trimmer. This just makes it, I'm just not great at cutting with scissors, and I just don't enjoy it either. So anytime I can use my paper trimmer, I'm going to do it. Oh, I was going to say, I also have that diagram right here just to visualize, and then it's going to show you where you're going to put your glue also. So we're going to put this in the paper trimmer, line it up on the 1/2 inch line right here, because we're lining it up so that bottom of the bag score line is right there. And we're going to cut off the first 2 sections. So that's going to go down to the 1 inch. I'm going to show you this. If you can see this on the paper trimmer, there is a little line, and then there are measurements on this section too. So I'm just lining up the line of my paper trimmer blade to the 1 inch mark right there. That's going to cut that horizontal line. We're only cutting horizontally, obviously. Now I'm going to move my blade down to the 5 inch mark, sink it in my paper, and I'm going to bring it all the way down to the 6. So I'm going to cut from 5 to 6. And then I'm going to go down to the 10. You can't see what I'm doing. To the 10 and just cut off the bottom. Now these lines are all cut nice and straight. And then all I have to do is snip right up the vertical score line. Boy, what happened to my paper trimmer blade? I guess it's time to replace that. So then I'm just going to, for this one, I have to snip 2 to cut out that middle. And right here. So that was just, I found that to be the faster way, especially if I'm making multiples, but you can definitely just use your scissors to cut that out. You're really just cutting out both ends and then the center. I don't know why I brought this back. Well, I guess I can show you. If you want to use tear and tape, this is where you would put it, and you're going to put it on the whatever part of the paper you want facing out in your bag. That's where you're going to put your glue, here and here, and then right here. But I'm actually going to use liquid glue, but I wanted to give you a visual. So because I'm using liquid glue, we're going to do this in sections instead of putting glue on there right now. So what we're going to do is put glue on these 2 tabs here. I'm showing you it on that template because it might be hard to see with the paper, patterned paper. I'm going to put glue right there and then glue right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over and then fold these 2 sections in. And then I'm going to put my glue, just having it flat down on my work surface is just better for me for not getting glue everywhere. And then what we're going to do is take this whole section, fold it over. We're going to line up this edge with that folded edge, putting it right over on top of that glue. And then just press that in place like that. So now when you pick it up, now you have made a box. These 2 pieces are glued together like that. So now you can take your box and you're going to press in right there with your fingers to kind of make V's on this side. And it's going to be easy to do because you've already scored it. So that is going to allow this to be squished when we close our card. And now we've got these 2 flaps for the bottom of our bag. So go ahead and grab your inside of your card. That's why we did it first, right? And then we're going to put glue just on this panel here. And then we're going to line up this edge of the bottom of our bag with the line, the score line here. Not with the white part, but with the score line. And just put it, center it in your card. Sometimes I find it easier to move this flap out of the way just to make sure I've got it. And then I'm going to push that down. So can you see that I just lined it up with the score line there? And then we're going to squish this closed, and we're going to put glue right here on this panel, just the short panel for the bottom of the bag. And this is so easy. Now we just close our card. And then we're going to rub this to make sure that glue adheres. And now check this out. So when we open it, bang, that thing opens up into a super cute bag. And look, when you close it, those V's close, so this thing can be closed and mailed. Isn't that so fantastic? But now we need to make it look like a bag, because right now it just looks like it's popped up there. So now you want to grab some ribbon. I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow and Gold trim. You can glue those on, you can use tear and tape, but I think the easiest way is to use a mini glue dot, because I just get the glue dot there and I take the end of my ribbon. So whichever side of the ribbon that you want facing out, that is the side you're going to put your glue dot on. Do I want that side? Maybe I want the more gold side. No, I want the more gold side. Let me take this off. Well, I was going to try to save it, but it is stretching all over the place. Okay, start again. I definitely want the gold side. I want this to be fancy. So this little gift bag looks so cute, and it looks like a shopping bag, and you could make it look more like a shopping bag just by the color of paper that you use. I think this would be so fun for any of your girlfriends, sisters, but also your teenagers would love it with a little gift card in there. So now what we're going to do is put, just press that ribbon in place and then turn it so that the same side is facing you. And then I've got my little glue dot there on the end, and then I'm just going to press that into place. And now what I want to double check is this going to extend past my card? I don't want to make those too long. So these are just 4-inch pieces. You could sink them down deeper into your bag if it ends up that they're going past the edge of your card there. And now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. So when you go to put in your second one, you want to match up that they are right across from each other and that they're the same length. So just make sure that you are kind of making them more matchy. Okay, now is that so cute? Oh my goodness, now that does look like a shopping bag. And now because that piece on earth has this so cute little dove, I'm just gonna put it right here on the shopping bag like that. But whatever set you use, you could take an image from that. This Painterly Pears paper, you could cut out images from the paper or use the bundle that goes with that paper. All right, so now we want to fill our bag with the goodies. So you could put a couple of gift cards in there, and then just grab yourself a little tissue paper. This is optional, but I think it looks so cute, and just tuck it in there like this. You could stamp on the tissue paper if you wanted to. I mean, is that, I can't even. I just think that is so cute. But you want to do this before you make the belly band, because we want to make sure the belly band is loose, loose enough to get on and off. Now here's my trick for belly bands. It's gonna be especially useful for this one because we've doubled it up. We have cardstock and designer series paper, which maybe I overkilled that. I don't know. You're gonna want to condition it so it is more rounded, because you don't want to crease your belly band. So now I'm just going to place this in the center of my card, wrap it around, but don't crease it. Make sure it's still flexible there. And we want to have it snug but not tight, because if it's too tight, then it's going to be too hard to get off and on. Well, I guess you can get it off, but you can't get it back on. So I don't know. I guess it depends. You know what? This one's so cute. They'll probably have it sitting up on their desk just so they can look at the bag. And then that's all the glue you need. A little bit on this side and a little bit on that side, and then just tack it down. Now, if you don't want to see the seam, you could put this on the front of your card, and then whatever label you put on the front, you could put over it. But I don't know. I just really liked just that thin border of the petal pink with the designer series paper. Just looked pretty to me. Now make sure that is nice and adhered, and then flip it over. You can even test it like that. Oh, we did perfectly on that. Now we're gonna put glue. We're gonna do a line of glue here. We definitely don't want to extend past and get glue past, so just keep it right there in the center and put this directly on that belly band, pressing it down, waiting for it to dry. Now this is optional, but I did cut out this leaf from that Piece on Earth die set. Just think it was so pretty. I'm just gonna put a little glue. I'm gonna put it right here. And now we've got our greeting. We're gonna put it right over the front. You can glue it on there, but I'm gonna add some Stampin' Dimensionals to it just to pop it up a little bit. This is the Take Your Pick tool. It is indispensable. I absolutely love that thing. Okay, and then we're just gonna center this up on that label just like that. And now you don't need to do this, but I am just gonna add a couple little gems to the side to make it look like they're almost like rivets on the side here, and it adds a little fanciness too. And now here you go. Isn't that just gorgeous? I mean, it's gorgeous on the outside, but then when they open it up, that is such a special, special card. Now I made 2 cards using the Traditions of Christmas designer series paper. Everything else is the same except for, I guess I used a different ribbon just to match. But just to give you an idea of how you can use one bundle, but just change up the paper and it can be used all year round. I hope you give this a try. The measurements are over on my blog post, and I just emailed out that project sheet. If you missed the project sheet, you can pick it up in my tutorial store. I hope you give this fun project a try. Let me know if you do. If you're watching and it's the end of November 2025, there are Black Friday sales going on. If you like deals, Stampin' Up has a great Black Friday sale where you can save up to 40% on just like essential craft supplies. I have Black Friday sales going on in my tutorial store where you can save 20% off on the new book. You can also get 40% off all my other tutorials and classes and everything. So go check that out. I'll link both those deals in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.